Good morning. I'm in my tiny kitchen with bad lighting right now, but I want to share a little coffee hack from a professional barista. This is the coffee we're using today. It's Starbucks. I know, bad timing. This is my French press. It's by Bodum. They're legit when it comes to French presses and stuff. There's the lid for it. This is a 4-cup French press, and I add 3 spoonfuls, this spoonful of ground coffee. Okay, we got my hot water from my old kettle. That's what it looks like. You want to try to cover all the grounds. I need more hot water. As you can see, the coffee grinds are kind of all over the place and it's not uniform looking. Like some of the bubbles are right here, and then there's coffee grounds on the side over there. And when you're brewing coffee, you want to make sure all the grounds are evenly coated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carefully stir this up so that all of the grounds are touching the water, and then it should create a crema, which is this foamy bit on top. It's similar to the crema on espresso, and then you can see the separation right there. So it's almost like a giant espresso shot, but not really, because you're not using pressurized water. And since we're still brewing more hot water, because I like to, when I'm brewing it, I like to put it to about right here. You want to have this brew for about 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Give it one more stir. While the hot water is heating up, I'm going to explain why I make my coffee this way. So in the Bay Area, it gets pretty chilly in the morning and then it warms up in the afternoon. I will make a pot of French press coffee. I will drink the first cup warm and then save the rest for my iced coffee in the afternoon. The reason why I do that is because hot coffee is always good when it's cold out, and if you love iced coffee, waiting for your coffee to cool down, or just too impatient for it. And so a lot of popular at-home hacks is freezing leftover coffee as ice cubes for iced coffee. And I don't know, I don't like that. I don't like it because I tend to make my coffees a little stronger. And since I'm using a French press, you're going to get some of the coffee sediment with your coffee. So adding coffee ice cubes to your already strong coffee is just not a tasty experience. Like, it helps to have a little bit of dilution going on from the ice. Kind of similar to how it's nice to have a little bit of dilution from the ice when you're drinking hard liquor on the rocks. You can see the crema has basically turned brown, and which means the coffee is ready to be served. But I want to add some more hot water to this to add more volume to the pitcher. That's about good. Adding hot water reactivates the coffee a little bit. You can get some of that crema back, but it's not quite the same. It's still better to make like a fresh pot. So since it's already brewed, I can go ahead and press it. But this is the level I like to have it. This is how your French press coffee should look. Put this so that the steam doesn't escape. It should almost look like an espresso shot. Like, you have your crema right here, the coffee is right here, and you don't see it, but the coffee grinds and sediment is on the bottom. You might have bits floating in the middle, which is why you need to push the plunger down to filter out whatever coffee grinds you can. Go ahead and press this. Now it's all the way in the bottom. So you want to get your mug. I have a glass vintage mug that I found on the streets of San Francisco. Kid you not. Of course, a coaster to protect your already damaged goods. The creamer I'm using is pumpkin spice because hello, holidays. So the trick with coffee is you want a good trick with creamer is you want to pour it in first to the mug. I like mine a little sweet. I've been into heavy creamer recently, which is bizarre because I used to be a black coffee drinker. Cream in the mug first. That way, when you pour your coffee, it mixes together and you don't even have to stir it. Since you're pouring the coffee into the cream, it warms up the cream and you don't have to taste that first cold sip of creamer. And that's how I make my first cup of coffee. Once the coffee in the French press cools down, I empty it into this bottle and I use it as iced coffee for the afternoon and the next day. And it's usually enough coffee for 2 days. And that's how I make iced coffee at home. Same thing works for iced tea as well. Instead of coffee grinds, you put loose leaf tea. And it works with any loose leaf tea. For my iced tea, I use these two bottles. This one is smaller than this one, even though they look just as tall. This one has more volume in it, but this is an old sparkling lemonade bottle from Sprouts. I just tried to remove the label so that I could reuse it. You can decant an entire bottle of liquor in here if you want to be stealthy. I guess I should show you a taste test just to prove that I drink it. And it's just the right temperature too. One more thing I want to note, if you're going to be making iced coffee or iced tea at home, you should always prep your items using glass material. I know there are plastic pitchers and stuff like that cafes use, and it's everywhere. As a person with the Taurus moon and a Taurus Venus, and who spent a good portion of 20 years of my life geeking out on this stuff, I find that glass is the best material to use when making and storing liquids. If you use plastic, your tea and coffee will start to taste like plastic. It's just another extra tip if you want to elevate your coffee and tea at home experience. Sometimes it's not about like how fancy or how much something is, it's what the materials are made of. You can even find like small glass cold brew bottles and reuse those. A few money saving tips: save money from the cafe, because you can totally make all of this stuff at home. It all depends on if you have the extra time to do it.